Hey pool owners, this is Rob with Inyo Pools. Today I'm going to show you how to hook up a Hayward suction style cleaner. I'm using a Bluecon cleaner, but same instructions could go for the Navigator or the Poolvac Ultra or any other Hayward suction style cleaner, which means it plugs into a skimmer or a dedicated vac line. With that said, let's get started. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is locate a spot where you're going to connect the hose. Most pools are going to have a dedicated vac line, as you can see here. If you don't have a dedicated vac line, you'll be connecting it to your skimmer. For this video, I'm going to connect to the vac line, but if you are going to use the skimmer, what you would do is you'd feed the hose through the skimmer door opening underneath the deck, and then you'll remove the basket and then go into the hole there at the bottom of the skimmer. And the cleaner usually comes with a skimmer cone that you put on the end of the hose to connect to the skimmer. But like I said, we're going to be using the dedicated vac line. Alright, the next step is going to be measuring out the hose that you'll need for the cleaner. The cleaner comes with 40 feet of hose. You may or may not need all of that. But what you can do is take a hose, plug it into the vac line, and then what you want to do is keep connecting hoses until you reach the furthest end of the pool, and then add 2 more hoses. So let's say you need 6 hoses to get to the corner. You would add 2 beyond that, so a total of 8 hoses. And a couple of things to keep in mind. All the hoses are the same except for this one. It has a cuff on the end and it originally comes with a sticker. So this is the one that's going to plug into the cleaner. So you'd start with one of these. This end would plug into the wall. Then you'd take the next hose and just plug it in there. And you'll keep doing that until you reach the furthest end of the pool. Alright, next thing you want to do is get the air out of the vacuum hose. What you could do, if you want to do it quick, is just turn the pump on, hold one end of the hose to a return jet and blow the air out that way. Or you can kind of take apart the hoses, bleed as much air out as you can. So I'll just kind of do it piece by piece, show you. Alright, and then when you get to the end, the cleaner will come with this suction gauge. What you'll do is put that on the last hose, keep the hose under the water, and then there's a clamp, or a C-clamp on the bottom of that gauge, and you just clamp that onto the hose. That way it stays underwater. And now we're ready to go turn on the pump. Okay, before you turn the pump on, you're going to want to make sure your valves are set correctly. Right now, the cleaner line is shut off. So since I'm using a suction cleaner, I don't need the main drain, because the cleaner almost becomes your moving main drain. Plus, if you got your main drain going and your cleaner, when they meet, they'll get stuck together. So we're going to go ahead and shut the main drain off. For now, I'm going to leave my skimmer line open so we can get water, and we'll see if it gets enough suction. If not, we may have to slowly turn off the skimmer or partially close it so the cleaner gets enough suction. But we'll go ahead and turn on the pump and see where we are. Okay, so the pump's running. Might be kind of hard to tell, but as you can see, it hasn't pulled in this black disc enough. There's a min and a max line on this gauge. And so it should, if it's getting enough suction, it should pull it in between the min and max, which is right about here. So what I'm gonna have to do is start closing the skimmer line until this gets enough suction to pull that black disc down in between the min and max line. Okay, so I'm back over by the pump. This is my skimmer line. You see where it says off here. So I'm gonna start partially closing that skimmer line. So I'll start there, and then I'll go check the gauge again. Okay, so there is the top of the gauge, And now the black disc has moved down to in between that min and max line. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's see if I can get a shot underwater. Okay, so we're definitely getting enough suction over there. So the initial problem was not enough suction. You could possibly have too much suction. So in that case, you want to make sure your skimmer line is totally open. What you could do is partially close the cleaner line to take some of the suction away. Also, the cleaner comes with a regulator valve that you could use. That can also help, but usually the problem is not enough suction and it's not too much suction. So let's go ahead and put the cleaner in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the cleaner in. Before you connect it to the hose, go ahead and submerge it in water and let the air bleed out. And then once you do that, you can remove the gauge and then connect that hose with the cuff on the end directly to the cleaner. And as you can see, the orange sticker is still on there. You're supposed to remove that, so disregard that. Alright, the cleaner's moving around well now. One thing I should mention, you really should have an inline strainer basket. Hayward has them. Basically, you would connect it between this first and second hose, and that'll prevent anything from going into your lines and getting the lines clogged. Same thing even if you're using, if you plug it into the skimmer, you'll want to use one of those inline leaf canisters. But if you have any questions about Hayward suction cleaners or anything pool or spa related, visit us over at inyopools.com. Thanks for watching.